Krishna. Yet, by who is merciful, samshayat, by strength, Drupada Geham, in the palace of King Drupada, Upagatana, all those assembled, Rajñam, of the princess, Swayambhu, on the occasion of the selection of the bridegroom, Smaradhurmadhanam, all lusty in thought, Tejaha, power, Krutam, vanquished, Kalu, as it were, Maya, by me, Abhihataha, pierced, Cha, also, Matsyaha, the fish target, Sajjikritena, by equipping the bow, Dhanusha, by that bow also, Adigatha, gained, Cha, also, Krishna, Draupadī. Translation given by His Divine Grace Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada ki. Only by his merciful strength was I able to vanquish all the lusty princes assembled at the palace of King Drupada for the selection of the bridegroom. With my bow and arrow, I could pierce the fish target and thereby gain the hand of Draupadī. Please read the translation. Only by his merciful strength was I able to vanquish all the lusty princes assembled at the palace of King Drupada for the selection of the bridegroom. With my bow and arrow, I could pierce the fish target and thereby gain the hand of Draupadī. Purport given by Srila Prabhupada. Draupadī was the most beautiful daughter of King Drupada. And when she was a young girl, almost all the princes desired her hand. But Drupada Maharaj decided to hand over his daughter to Arjuna only, and therefore contrived a peculiar way. There was a fish hanging on the inner roof of the house under the protection of a wheel. The condition was that out of the princely order, one must be able to pierce the fish eyes through the wheel of protection, and no one would be able to look up at the target. On the ground, there was a water pot in which the target and the wheel were reflected, and one has to fix his aim towards the target by looking at the trembling water in the pot. Maharaj Drupada well knew that only Arjuna or alternatively Karna could successfully carry out the plan. But still he wanted to hand his daughter to Arjuna. And in the assembly of the princely order, when Drishtadyumna the brother of Draupadī, introduced all the princes to his grown-up sister, Karna was also present in the game. But Draupadī tactfully avoided Karna as the rival of Arjuna. As she expressed her desires through her brother Drishtadhyumna, that she was unable to accept anyone who was less than a Kshatriya. The Vaishyas and the Shudras are less important than the Kshatriyas. Karna was known to be as the son of carpenter, a Shudra. So Draupadī avoided Karna by this plea. When Arjuna, in the dress of a poor Brahmana, pierced the difficult target, everyone was astonished. And all of them, especially Karna, offered a stiff fight to Arjuna. But as usual, by the grace of Lord Krishna, he was able to emerge very successful in the princely fight and thus gain the valuable hand of Krishna or Draupadī. Arjuna was lamentingly remembering the incident in the absence of the Lord, by whose strength only he was so powerful. Thus is the Bhaktivinoda purport. Namavom Vishnupadhaya Krishna Prestaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swamy Niti Namine Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Sunyavadhi Paschatya Deshatarine Jaya Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Srivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Srila Prabhupada ki. The chapter name is Pandavas Retired Timely. So Krishna, Supreme Lord Sri Krishna already wound up his pastimes on this earthly planet, and Arjuna came to know that because he went to Dwaraka. Then he comes back to Hastinapura and explains what happened, and then to Yudhishthira Maharaj, and he was very much in distress mood. So he was telling that because of Krishna's mercy, he could able to gain the hand of Draupadī. Even though there are many powerful princes are there. So here Prabhupada explains the purport, how Arjuna could gain the hand of Draupadi. So Karna was avoided in the name of Kshatriya. Then Arjuna was in the disguise of Brahmana. So he comes and then shoots the target. Then all the princes become very angry and there will be big fight with all the princes. And Arjuna could alone defeat all the princesses, including Karna, with the help of, because by the mercy of Lord Krishna. So one can be very powerful, will be having all strength only by the mercy of Supreme Lord. Without that, nobody can be powerful. There are many powerful warriors are there. In the Mahabharata, Bhishma is there, Dronacharya is there, Karna, they are also powerful warriors. But they don't have the blessings of Lord Krishna. So that's how Arjuna was always victorious. So here, Draupadi is called as Krishna. Krishna means Supreme Lord Sri Krishna. Krishna means referring to Draupadi because she also, by the color, the hue, she is little black in color. Many people, especially TV serials and then some films, portray Draupadi as a very arrogant character, very proud like that and all, they portray like that. But it's not so. She is a pure devotee. It was told in Bhagavatam, she is of Vama Swabhava. That means very gentle and well-behaved lady. We need to understand from the Shastras, if you want to know the truth. And her devotion to Supreme Lord Krishna is the highest standard. She is having many good qualities. She is having all the qualities as a pure devotee. Especially, few instances we can come to know the devotion of Draupadī, the pure devotion of Draupadī Devi. Especially when she was tried to disrobe, she shows her surrenderance. That's the best example to know that Mother Draupadī is a surrendered soul completely to Supreme Lord Sri Krishna. And one more instance, when Ashwadhama kills her sons, there is always chance to kill Ashwadhama, but she forgives. So the greatness of the Draupadi, you can understand the quality of forgiveness in her. And one more instance, when Pandavas retire Mahaprasthana, when they leave the kingdom and go to Himalayas, along with 5 Pandavas, Draupadi Devi, they have many wives, but Draupadi Devi, follows them. She also renounces everything. You can understand the quality of renunciation in her. Especially, if you see the story of how Ashwadhama killed, it is said in Bhagavatam, even though Ashwadhama killed her 5 sons, Draupadi chose to forgive his crime and set him free to face his destiny. So from both the sides, Kauravas, Pandavas, after the Mahabharata war, thousands of warriors were killed, lakhs of warriors were killed. And then Duryodhana was defeated. His spine got broke by the mace of Bhima, and he could not move anywhere. So at that time, by seeing the situation of his friend, close friend Duryodhana, Ashwadhama becomes very angry, and he wants to take revenge. And in the night time, generally to fight in the night is actually adharma. So Pancha Pandavas and their sons, Upapandavas, they are all sleeping. So he cannot kill Pandavas. He kills like that and takes the heads to Duryodhana, thinking that Duryodhana will be pleased, he will be very happy. But Duryodhana disapproved that. He is not happy, he is more distressed. He brings more distress at that time also. So after coming to know that her sons died, she becomes very much sorrowful, distressed, and she continuously weeps. So Arjuna could not tolerate her grief, and he makes a vow. It's a very powerful vow he makes. O gentle lady, this is Srimad Bhagavatam. O gentle lady, when I present you with the head of Brahmana, after beheading him with arrows from a Gandiva bow, I will cut off his head with my Gandiva bow. I shall wipe the tears from your eyes and pacify you. Then, after burning your sons' dead bodies, that means Upapandavas, they died, they are supposed to burn their bodies. So, after burning your sons' bodies, you can take your bath standing on his head. Whose head? Ashwadhama's head. So, that a very terrible vow he makes, Arjuna. Bhima also makes one vow to Draupadi like this only. Dushasana tries to disrobe Draupadi. So he makes a vow that I will kill this Dushasana and then I will drink the blood. Shishiradha Govindaki. So when that occasion comes during Mahabharata war, it is so terrible that he was killed in a very terrible way. He removes his hand, one hand, then other hand he throws, and then he beats on his chest and then takes the blood and drinks. By seeing that terrible scene, many powerful warriors are there. Karna is there, Duryodhana is there. They were awestruck They forgot they have powerful weapons, they can fight against Bhima, they forgot that. Such a terrible way he was killed. So devotees, generally, they are kind, merciful by heart. They don't do harm unnecessary to anybody. Arjuna also doesn't want to fight before the Mahabharata war. Okay, that's why Krishna teaches Bhagavad Gita to him. And then they're merciful by heart. But if required, it's a duty of Kshatriya. They will inflict upon the criminal what is required, even at the cost of at their life, and then very terribly also, and it is required. So then Arjuna dresses armor with power, and he wears all the armor, and he takes powerful weapons, very terrible weapons, and follows Ashwadhama where he is staying. And Ashwadhama comes to know from very far that Arjuna is coming very fast towards him, and he takes his chariot. He starts running away. Then after some time, he understands that horses became tired, they cannot run anymore. Then out of fear of his life, he touches water and then releases Brahmastra weapon. Brahmastra. He doesn't know how to, Astra means how to release the Astra and how to take base Astra also. A warrior should know. Okay, then mantras will be there for that. Dronacharya teaches only how to shoot the Brahmastra, but doesn't teach how to take back. He told everything to Arjuna, but not to Ashwadhama. Such a great person is Dronacharya. Okay, so then he releases Brahmastra, and immediately there will be lightning everywhere, full of light, so much effulgence everywhere, as if sun has come very nearby. The weapon. Now you have to release your Brahmastra and retaliate that. So immediately Arjuna touches the water, and then he circumambulates around the Lord Krishna out of devotion, and then he releases Brahmastra. So when he released, both of them hit each other, and then immediately a powerful sun like globe forms out of fire in the sky, covering all the 3 planets' skies. Okay, so because of heat, all the 3 planet systems, that means middle, upper and lower, all the 14 planet systems, all people are experiencing scorching heat, so much heat. That's the power of Brahmastra. It is more powerful than current nuclear bombs. Nuclear bombs destroy cities, Hiroshima, Nagasaki, but Brahmastra destroys even all planets also. Such a power they are having, these astras. Then after some time, Arjuna immediately takes back the Brahmastra weapon. Then everything comes to normal. Then he goes very fastly, and great fight happens between them. Dexterously, Arjuna catches Ashwadhama and takes to the place where Draupadī is there. Okay. Then here at the situation, Draupadī can always order to kill Ashwadhama immediately. But you know what she tells? So here, so after reaching there, Arjuna entrusted the murderer unto his dear wife, who is lamenting for her murdered sons. Draupadī then saw Ashwadhama, who was bound with ropes like an animal, and silent for having enacted the most inglorious murder. Draupadī, being naturally good and well behaved, Vama Swabhava, here is mentioned, she showed him due respects as a Brahmana. She could not tolerate Ashwadhama being tied by ropes like an animal, being a devoted lady. She said, release him immediately, for he is a Brahmana, our spiritual master. It was Dronacharya's mercy that you all learnt the art of shooting the arrows he is certainly still existing, Dronacharya is still existing, being represented by his son. His wife Krupi is the wife of Dronacharya. His wife Krupi did not undergo a sati with him because she had a son. So it is not good for you to cause grief to glorious family members who are always respectable and worshipable. Referring to family of Dronacharya. So my lord, do not make the wife of Dronacharya cry like me. In the kingly administrative order, one who offends Brahmana, all their wealth and royal family will be destroyed totally. So these statements are fully supported by Yudhishthira Maharaj because they are as per Shastras, and then they are glorious, full of mercy, equity, and without duplicity. She is telling really from the core of the heart, genuinely. And Nakula Sahadeva approved for this. He should be released immediately. But Bhima doesn't agree. He should be killed at any cost. Okay, so then Krishna tells to Arjuna. So Arjuna equivocally tells, you have to satisfy your brothers, and then you have to fulfill your vow, and then you already gave a word to Draupadi, you have to fulfill everything. So do what is needful. Then Arjuna, he takes a sword, he removes the one diamond money, he keeps on his head, Ashwadhama. Because of that, he is very powerful. He doesn't get any disease, he doesn't feel hunger, always powerful. None of the serpents and demons could defeat him. So all that power he is getting by the diamond. So he removes the diamond hair also. So it is equivalent to killing a Brahmana. Okay, so that's how Arjuna actually teaches and punishes this Ashwadhama. So that is one such great quality you can find in the life of Draupadi Devi. She is a great devotee like that. And one more occasion people tell, the Draupadi Devi is the one who who actually inspired this Mahabharata war by insulting Duryodhana when he came to Mayasabha, by laughing at him, especially she shares one word like that people tell generally, Andheka, what is that? Andhaka putra andha. Blind man's son is blind, like that. Very popular, many people tell like that. But it is totally wrong. Totally wrong. In Mahabharata it is mentioned that after Yudhishthira Maharaj performed Rajasuya sacrifice and then killed Shishupala, Duryodhana and Shakuna want to stay for some more time in the Indraprastha. Indraprastha is one more kingdom which was built by the Pandavas because they were sent out of Hastinapura. They were given a barren land. They built a great kingdom there. And people of Hastinapura leave, even though Bhishma is there, Dronacharya is there, they leave that kingdom and go to Indraprastha because they want to be under the rule of Pandavas. So that's the time when Duryodhana announces freebies, free policies. So this free policy started from then. Still, the people go to Indraprastha only. So after this Rajasuya sacrifice, they stay back, and he wants to see Mayasabha especially, a wonderful palace. It is so intricately carved, it's like a heaven. He never saw such kind of carvings. Generally, they will be there in Indraloka. Such kind of wonderful carvings will be there. Beautiful lakes, and side by there will be, benches will be there. Those benches are not made of wood or rocks. Generally, we see our park benches will be made like that, outside also and all. They are made of ivory and gold and diamonds. Okay, and wonderful breeze is coming out. That breeze is so nice that like heavenly breeze. He becomes very angry by seeing all envious, so much envious. And he sees some servants, he shouts at them, even though no fault is there, because of enviousness. So then he enters to one big hall. In that one crystal pond is there, water pond. And he thinks that is not a pond, get confused by that, and then he falls down. He's walking like this out of pride and envy. Okay, like this only he falls down. So on the floor, on the balcony, Bhima is there, Krishna is there, Pandavas are all there, and Krishna's princess and Draupadi, everybody were there. So by saying that, Bhima laughs very loudly, and Krishna also laughs. Then by saying that, all the princes of Krishna and then Draupadi also laughs. So then with the help of Shakuni comes out, and then immediately Yudhishthira Maharaj understands the embarrassment of Duryodhana and sends dry cloth. He wears dry cloth, again want to see the the palace. He doesn't see the Pandavas also, who are queens under who laughed. Even though inside this burning anger is there, envy is there, he doesn't see them, as if nothing is normal, nothing is there, like that he just goes off. And then he is saying more and more wonderful things. He becomes more and more envious by saying that. So finally he comes out of the palace, burning with envy so much. then Yudhishthira Maharaj goes and tries to please him, and Duryodhana just laughs as if nothing is there. Okay. So he goes back to his Hastinapura. Then he conspires, dice game and want to defeat. Okay. So Draupadi Devi never made comment like that. Okay. Many people laughed, as they laughed, but they stop after Yudhishthira Maharaj tells them. But it has been told, propagated so much, that because of Draupadi Devi comment like that, Mahabharata war was fought. It is totally wrong. So enviousness is very dangerous. So Srila Prabhupada tells, two items are there which cause bondage to material world. First one is desire to lording over tendency. Second thing is envy. If you have these two qualities, you are stuck up to this material world eternally. And then especially enviousness towards devotees and the Lord is very dangerous. Very dangerous. Sometimes we feel in our Krishna conscious community also, somebody does service nicely, somebody gets some appreciation, we feel some kind of envy. So this leads to fall down of the devotee. It's a Vaishnava offense. It leads to fall down of devotee. Devotee should maintain equilibrium, unaffected by attachment, and then this envy, one should maintain equilibrium. So how this envy has come down? It is said in Bhagavad Gita, one who is satisfied with gain which comes on its own accord. You should be satisfied with whatever comes, by the mercy of Lord. Then this enviousness comes down. If you are not satisfied, if you feel something is lacking, I want more. If somebody is getting that, you are not getting, then envy starts. So devotees should learn to be satisfied with the mercy of the Lord, whatever we get. So this important quality, satisfaction, is important quality. Dissatisfaction destroys everything. And devotees should learn to forgive others and practice tolerance. It is said that the devotee who practices this tolerance and forgiveness, they are the advancing devotees. If you have that revengeful attitude, if you can't able to tolerate others' mistakes, and if you keep grudge in the heart and always burning the time to take revenge, opportunity to take revenge, then you are not advancing, you are degrading yourself. So in a Krishna conscious community, sometimes some things go wrong. Sometimes we shout at others shout at us. We should forget that at that moment only. We should not carry forward. We should not keep them in our heart and always looking for opportunity. This is not the Krishna conscious community. The culture of Krishna conscious community. Outside you will see all those things, but you don't find those things in Krishna consciousness. By chance, if you have, please give up all these things. This is not the way of Krishna consciousness. So that's why even something goes wrong, sometimes devotee shouts at you also. You don't think that devotee feels bad about me. I can never go before the devotee. I can never talk to devotee. Please don't think like that. Devotees will forget. Immediately they forget. And then, they'll be normal only. So this should be the culture of Krishna consciousness. So that's how Krishna consciousness offers solutions to many, many problems of life like that. It's based on Bhagavad Gita and Bhagavatam. Bhagavad Gita was spoken how many years back? 5,000 years back. It was spoken to sun god before. Anybody can tell how many years? 12 crore years. 12 crore years back. It's still relevant to all of us and offers wonderful practical solutions for all the problems of life. Like this, what discussed up to now. And then, not only that, current issues also, all the problems it can offer wonderful solutions. Recently, the current issue or current problem, it is so many times coming in the news, is about, one lady by name Shraddha was cut to pieces by her boyfriend. Love jihad, like that people tell. So this is happening at many places. For people who don't know, jihad means it is a holy war to establish Allah kingdom everywhere, whole world. In many places across India, these things are happening. It's an alarming situation. Recently in Kerala, one study says almost some 30,000 women, were trapped by this law jihad and sent to Arab countries. Okay, like that they tell. There's many cases are there like that. So, Krishna consciousness offers solution for every problem. Recently one boy met me. He studied in one Muslim minority college and he saw many, many cases. Hindu men trapped by, the Muslim boys and all. He's seen many cases. He was so much disturbed. He has taken a task on his own. He finds any people like that, any pair like that, he'll go to social media, inquire their social media accounts. It takes some 3 months of time. He gets all the data and give to her parents. And parents have taken it forward what to do, he doesn't know. I asked up to know how many you did like that, almost more than 10. So what happened to them? That he doesn't know. Because again parents have to handle. It's not so easy to handle that. So I told that's very good, that's good only, but you need to solve the problem from the root. Just like if you get headache, people generally take immediately, some aspirin or some tablet like that, allopathy. It cures, but still problem is there inside. If you take Ayurvedic tablet, it goes inside and cures from the root. I told that solution is there in Krishna consciousness. Okay, so why this problem is coming? There is a reason, somebody is responsible for this. So Bhakti Siddhanta Thakur says that don't see faults in others, see in yourself first of all. Examine yourself and then rectify yourself first. Okay, so instead of telling others are fault, we need to clearly understand the problem is with us. Somebody should be held responsible very clearly, who is really responsible. If you always tell others are problems, for any problem, you cannot find solution. You should take up responsibility. That is your fault. Then you can find solution. So, I met one educationalist. He is a big educationalist for many. He is having many institutions, colleges, thousands of students study under him. When I met him, he was telling the main reason for students or children to get spoiled is actually parents. Media, social media, internet, TV serials, all this is only 10%. 90% are parents. Why parents? It was one teacher recently I met. She is previously working in one school. She resigned from that school. I asked why you resigned. So she saw some students are doing mistakes. She tried to rectify in a normal way only, not so very violently also. And that student went complained to his parents, and parents came to school and fighting with principal. Principal understood she did nothing wrong, but parents are coming and fighting. For them, removing teacher is better than student, because student gives 1 lakh fees. Students, if you remove teacher, if you remove also one more teacher they will get. That's no value for teachers. No value for teachers in the school now currently. And because of the school management has taken, always be soft corner towards students. Whatever they tell, just allow it to happen. Even though they smoke, they drink, as if nothing has seen, they'll just allow all those things. So because of parents. So the main reason is parents. This we need to understand, accept it. Then you can find the solution. So much pampering they will do. My little angel, like that people tell. So much pampering. Taking care good is required, but at the same time we need to teach responsibility also properly. And then current day children, they don't help parents in house chores like cooking. Some children, not children now, they are grown up. Even from villages, cities you leave it. Villages also they doesn't know how to cook. After marriage, they have to go to some restaurants to get food or tomato. What is that? Tomato, na? Zomato. So Zomato they have to order and spoil their health. All these things. Okay, and then they don't even wash their own plate also. Okay, like that many things are there. Don't sleep early and don't wake up also. And then don't know how to take care of guests. And never take them temples also. Parent doesn't take them temples. I know one person, he's 40 years old. His wife was complaining to me, very known family. They have 2 children. He never took them to temple, it seems. I asked why. He told, my father never took me to temple. So, I'm not against God, but not accustomed to all these things. Okay. Even though they bring to temple, sometimes we'll see in our temple also, exposing dresses. Parents are there side by only, it is temple, but children were made to wear that kind of dress. So who is spoiling? Parents are children they are actually. They are some 5 years, 10 years, 12 years old. So why they do all these things? They teach foreign culture, Western culture than Indian culture. Why they do all these things? Prestige. Prestige. It's all about name and fame. Okay. And some people out of ignorance don't know how to raise the children. So this we need to understand very clearly. And about that media, all these things they do brainwashing so much. And then if they don't have, after 18 years or 20 years age, if they don't have lover, it is something abnormal. They have low esteem. Okay, like that they were made to feel by media. And then like that they were brought, and then they try to find out some other person. Okay, especially cinema halls, pubs, discotheques, and then parks. This is a hub for this kind of activity, love jihad. And then they'll fall trap. They'll give drugs also, it seems, some people are telling, and then blackmail by secretly taking photos. Especially 12 years to 18 years, this happens more. Okay, so the responsibility lies with us, first of all, especially parents. So what is solution? So we can counteract this kind of demoniac culture by divine culture. Divine culture. Okay. So we need, now there are no schools systematically. They don't teach Bhagavad Gita. Colleges, schools, very few, less than 1% are there. But most of the schools never teach Bhagavad Gita properly. No value, simply technical stuff, that's it. So now we have to learn Bhagavad Gita and we have to teach to our own children. This is important. So this is the need of the hour now. We have to learn and we only have to teach our children. And there are some organizations like our organization trying our best to teach the children. We have cultural department and then gifts and then Hare Krishna Vidya is there. Many programs are there trying to teach children. Folk is there for youth. This love jihad not only for women, for men also. Be careful. So we all have to, teach like that. And then who are doing this kind of activity, they must be supported by every individual follower of Sanatana Dharma, supported. Otherwise, it cannot go forward. So then, and too much restriction. Say, if you restrict too much, going to cinema halls, pubs and parks, all these things, children become against. So much against us. So, what is the solution? They have all the social media before them, TVs are there, and outside everything is there. But how to control them? How to teach them? It is only possible by self-discipline. They have to attain self-discipline. Then only there is a solution for this problem. Self-regulation one has to practice. You cannot avoid mobile now. If you stop your smartphone, it's very difficult. Your life becomes empty, hollow, sunya it will be. And then you have to transfer money, the bank OTP comes. So where that goes, it is so much tightly connected. You cannot live without smartphones and all these things. But you can save yourself by self-regulation. That is possible by Krishna consciousness, very easily. See, many devotees who come to Krishna consciousness, they immediately come out of many bad habits, drinking, smoking, many more things. They stop seeing cinemas also, listening to cinema songs. Is it not? This happens very quickly, not after years of practice. Naturally it happens because of the power of chanting holy names. By understanding knowledge of Bhagavad Gita and Bhagavatam, by devotees association, they can able to quickly come out of all these things. They can able to attain self-regulation. Self-regulation to some level. To attain liberation, going back to God, to require higher levels. Some level of self-regulation is enough to solve this problem. This problem of love jihad. This much is enough. That easily offered by Krishna consciousness. So, this is how Krishna consciousness helps to control senses by focusing on Lord Krishna. So, by reading Prabhupada books, by chanting holy name, they'll develop that attraction towards Lord. They regulate their senses, they'll come out of all these kind of unnecessary attractions in their life. Okay, immediately one can observe this, not after years of practice. Okay. So, and parents have to teach their children, Krishna consciousness. If they know, they can teach. Otherwise, they can, teach, by the others who knows this. By sending them to temple, every weekend they can come to temple. So just nice kirtan, prasadam, and then dance, and then we do association, they learn many things. So weekly once, they should be sent to temple, the children, at least. And then daily practice of Krishna consciousness also, chanting, at least some time of reading. So, not only just visiting temples, just puja and go away. They should be taught to learn how to do service in temple and understand about God. Maybe everything, if they tell, children may not learn. That's why in Buddhism, there's one culture is there. In some countries, in some areas of Buddhist countries, not all, but some areas, they have one culture that 1 year they have to stop their studies and go to monastery. They have to practice life like a monk. That's why you'll see many videos will be there, small monks will be there. They're all normal people only, but 1 year they live like that. It's actually our old Gurukula style. Our Gurukula at the age of 5 they used to go, and 25, up to 25 they used to be there, learn everything. Now people are giving up all these things. Okay. So they have to send somebody else to teach these things, to do service, to clean the temple hall, to wash the plates, to pluck flowers, to do their own works, to wash their own plate. In home they may not do, but if they send to somebody else who are teaching all these things, training all these things, they will learn very easily. That's how we all learned after coming to Krishna consciousness. Otherwise, I never used to wash my plate before. No question of brooming home also. Many of us like that only. So we learn like that. So this kind of training should happen by others if they are not learning at home. Okay. So then, by summer camps are there, they get holidays and summer Dasara, they should be sent to, we have many summer camps are there. If they attend, they learn many things wonderfully. Trips they can come, most exciting, most happiest days. We can go to Dham, Mercy of Lord, Devote Association, dancing, Prasadam, so many wonderful things will be there. They'll see wonderful temples, they understand the architecture of the temple, our culture, our history, many things they'll learn. Trips are the wonderful way to learn everything, to understand. Okay. So one is raising up children like that. But after certain age, they have to be sent outside in the name of studies, engineering, they'll go to some other place, job, they'll go to some other place. So what happens to that? So even the children were brought up like that, after they grown up, sometimes they may go to wrong direction also. So that level also there must be some more control should be there. So that is, many our folk boys tell, every day parents call, it seems. I got surprised first time. Every day calling, what will be there? Sometimes 2 times a day, not in one time. I asked what they will talk, what they ask you. Telling breakfast tinnava, lunch ayipinda, and then they tell the relative story. Idala chesindi ada chesindi cheppi story mata. Instead of telling all those things, they can be told about chanting holy name. A video call can be there nicely. Chanting, all families can sit together and chant one round and read Bhagavad Gita. And whenever they call, they can ask for sadhana happened or not, like the way devotees ask. In round 0 sadhana inda, Bhagavatam certain day, like that we ask. Okay. So like that if they are asked, they'll progress nicely instead of doing all these things. Teach the importance of association of devotees, like this. Daily call should be this one, not tinnava padukunnava kaadu mata. That will happen automatically if they have this one. And above that, we need to clearly tell what is happening outside. One is Krishna conscious training up, and then we should also tell what is happening in the world around us. Problem should be openly discussed. Em ledu anukunte munchestadi mottham anta మాట. Like Duryodhana is telling nothing is, but still so much burning inside. Similar to that. So we should openly discuss. So blindly we should not believe the children, and then we need to see to whom they are talking to, with whom they are going outside. Okay. So like this, Krishna consciousness offers wonderful solution for the most dangerous problems of the world. Prabhupada says, in the history to be written one day, that this movement, Hare Krishna movement, saved world from great danger. It will be written one day in history. Prabhupada told like that. Okay. So Prabhupada says that preaching Krishna consciousness, he is establishing this organization to give people life of happiness, peace, good health, and good qualities based on God consciousness. That's the purpose of establishing the organization. Happiness, peace, good health, and good qualities based on God consciousness. That's the purpose of organization. So a simple solution for all the problems, one solution. Just preach Krishna consciousness. Just give Krishna consciousness. That's the best solution for all the problems. So devotees, like there are good qualities, like forgiveness, tolerance, and then they come out of envy. Not just coming out of worldly problems, they'll go back to Godhead also. They'll become wonderful devotees and they'll go back to Godhead. Okay. So that great opportunity Krishna consciousness is offering for entire world, for all the people and for all the problems. Okay. So we'll conclude here. Shri Radha Govind ki, Shri Nitai Gauranga ki, Lakshmi Bhagwan.